We are joined now by the candidate himself, Governor Rick Perry. He's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this morning, going to give a big job speech later today. Governor, thank you for joining us. I want to talk about that job speech in a minute. But first, those remarkable comments from your wife yesterday. You are a lucky man to have such a passionate defender. But is that what you believe, that these debates have been unfair and that you've been brutalized because of your Christian faith?
Well, I do have one of the finest women in the world that I could be married to, and she is passionate. And I'll tell you for sure that family members generally take these campaigns harder than anyone else. But I'll stand by my wife. I think she's right on both cases. My understanding is that she said, I'm the most conservative candidate in the race, and he's a Christian. So I haven't got anything I can add to that. She's hit me on my mark both times there. Okay,
well, you stand by those comments, and I want to get to more of that in a second. But now on to the jobs program. You're rolling out your jobs plan today. Herman Cain has already made his mark with the 999 plan. Mitt Romney unveiled his 59-point plan a couple of weeks ago. Why is your plan better than theirs?
Well, for a number of reasons. The President of the United States, under my plan, walks in on day one and the first 100 days starts really making an impact in this country. Over 1.2 million jobs can be created by opening up those federal lands and waters, by pulling back those onerous regulations that we see killing jobs, and then rebuilding the EPA. Those three major events can get America working again, can create wealth, and open up this treasure trove of resources that we stand upon on the United States property. So an executive with governing experience that knows how to create jobs with a plan that frankly is simple, and that's what Americans want. And that, as president, is what I'll do.
But, Governor, your opponents point out that unemployment has doubled during your tenure as governor, and that about 65% of the Texas job gains since 2007 are actually government jobs. Is that the model for the country?
Well, I disagree with those numbers. For one thing, we've had a state that's had huge growth, and a lot of people have moved to the state of Texas from other states looking for those jobs. Unemployment's gone up all across this country. Texas wasn't immune to it. We just happened to be creating jobs while other states were losing jobs. And the bulk of those jobs, 95% of them were above minimum wage. And the substantial margin of them were substantially more than what information you've got are in the private sector. That's how Americans want to see job creation. And listen, let's get back to the real issue here. I'm talking about creating jobs in the energy industry that will make America secure from countries who we're buying oil from today that don't have our best interest in mind.
Yesterday, your wife also said that when she looks at Herman Cain's plan 999, she wants to call 911 because it's going to be a national sales tax. Is that what you think?
I think that's pretty close to hitting the spot. You know, when you look at the 9% increase in states that already have a sales tax, then you're going to really see some pushback from people. I think once this really gets looked at, sounds pretty cool to just say 999, but at the end of the day, it is a big tax increase on some people out there that vote, that care, and I think it's going to be tough sledding for 999.
But, Governor, what do you make of Herman Cain? You've dropped 20 points since August. It's all gone to him. He's skyrocketed by 20 points. What is he doing right that you're doing wrong?
Well, Herman Cain is one of the most interesting people sitting on that stage, that's for sure. But I think when people look at what he's talking about, when people look at his tax plan, when people try to make a decision about who do you really want running America, somebody that really knows how to create jobs, not somebody that's got a catchy slogan.
Finally, Governor, you said you stand by your wife's comments that you've been singled out for your faith. A lot of your opponents have said that's exactly what your supporter, Reverend Jeffress, did when he was introducing you at that values voter convention. And the Romney campaign and Governor Romney have called on you to repudiate him and his comments. Will you do that?
Well, I have a lot of people that endorse me, but I don't endorse what they say or what they believe for that matter, and that's the case on this one. I can't control those individuals who go out and say something who may be for me in a race. This is about freedom of speech, I mean, freedom of religion. Our founding fathers were pretty wise in creating those rights. freedom of religions, and we have a great number of faiths. And I support the people's choice of being able to pick and choose their faith. But I also choose to support the freedom of expression, and
but do you want his support,
people are going to say things about me
him?
that I don't agree with.
But do you repudiate Reverend Jeffress?
Look, I'm not going to say that he can't say what he wants to say. The issue is, are we going to tell people what they can say? And I'm not going to be one of those. This is a country where we truly have freedom of expression. And there are going to be people that say things about me, probably going to be people that say things about President Obama that are offensive to him and his family. But those folks who say those things are going to be the ones that you need to be asking the questions to, not those of us who are either associated with them, know them, or for that matter, have endorsed President Obama.
Finally, Governor, this is just a gut check question. How badly do you want to be president?
Listen, I wouldn't have got in this thing if I didn't think America was in trouble. And I got a great job being the governor of the state of Texas. But I love my country, and there's a point in time where you have to do your duty. And that's what I'm all about. I want to get this country back working again. I love America. I wore the uniform of this country as a pilot in the United States Air Force. I understand about service and sacrifice. And this is a time when people who truly love this country, who truly have a passion about the freedoms that we've lost from these regulators who are taking away men and women's right to have the dignity of a job. That's what I'm all about. I hope there's somebody watching this program today who's sitting there in the living room without a job, looking for that person who's going to give them hope that they're going to have a job in the future. I'm that person.
Thanks a lot for joining us this morning, Governor.
You're welcome, George.